Welcome to the channel Drum Master. Today we're going to look at bass pedals. I want to show you different brands that have different prices. Then I can explain the main differences between the basic, the middle range, semi-professional and professional pedals. So let's start. The first pedal that I have here in my hands is the most basic. It is an own brand or no name. The price of this is about 20 or 30 euros. What do these pedals have? Well, it is a replica that is quite beautiful, made by the Chinese. They are imitating a professional or semi-professional pedal. But the quality of it is very bad. Let me see. It comes with a chain, which isn't bad. Next, the settings. What have they got? Here, there is a screw. Okay, here, if we undo it a little, you can change the angle of the gong mallet, okay? And here there is another screw, which allows you to raise or lower the gong mallet, okay? Well, there aren't more adjustments that we can make. It's very normal, nothing special. Nothing else. And not here below. They have even copied here a bearing, okay, so that it can move more easily. Oh, it's squeaking. It has a stop limiter, although this isn't very important for me personally. Sometimes they have them. It's not necessary. That is something very personal. Well, that's enough of that. Down here we have two bars, a clamp. Here it has a butterfly screw or a nut to adjust with down here. Well, what can I say about this pedal? Can it be of any use to you? Yes, this pedal can be used for rehearsals, to play with in groups, with friends. Like, what is bad about this pedal? The hammer, although you can see it has a double-sided head, one side of felt and the other of plastic, this hammer is very light, right? Then, if you want to play things that are quite fast, it's all right. It weighs very little, and of course you can undo it. If you want to take it somewhere, you can undo it. It doesn't use up very much room to go to a session. It's okay. But this type of pedal I would not recommend for work, because it could break on you at any moment. The main problem of these pedals is that the metal that they use to make it for the housing is very weak. So if you overdo it, tightening anything, a nut or a screw, you will break it. It's okay to use at home for practice, at home with friends, but for work, always remember it could break. It's not a safe bet. Let's get on. Another pedal, just the same as the previous one. What has it got? Everything is the same. A screw for the pivot joint of the gong mallet, a screw to lift or lower the gong, the chain, the stop limiter. They've copied everything. The bars at the bottom to set it up and disassemble quickly, the butterfly screw for the clamp for the drum, a screw at the bottom. It's all copied. And the only difference is that the previous pedal had no brand name, but this one does. It says Alesis here. Well, you can say the brand name Alesis isn't bad, as they make electronic drums and have fairly decent products. Yes, but no, because Alesis is a manufacturer like Roland, Yamaha, that make decent drums, but they don't make good hardware. So this pedal costs nearly 20 or 30 euros, and the quality is exactly the same as the pedal that I first showed you. The metal is very soft and you can break the thread and be left without a pedal at any concert you're at. This pedal can break. The very hammer made by the Chinese, the felt, the plastic, it's all the same in this category. When we can say that the pedal has a brand name, the name Alexis doesn't really come up to standard, whereas Yamaha does. Roland and Alexis continue to make really bad hardware for me personally. I'm only stating my own opinion that the pedal made by Roland and Alexis is of the same poor quality. If we are talking about a Yamaha pedal, although they also make electronic drums, it's different. Yamaha have a wide range of pedals and they make very decent hardware, high quality and professional high quality products. Let's get this out of the way. The next pedal, it looks the same as the other ones. It has 2 bars and everything, but now it's a brand name product, a make. Pearl. What has this pedal got to have to pay more for it? This pedal is a little bit more expensive. Its price is nearly €50. 50 or 60 euros. What has it got? Well, let's have a look. Underneath, 2 bars to dismantle it quickly. Notice this nut is much bigger, much safer. This isn't going to open from the vibrations at a concert because it's much wider and it has a different way of fixing on. Right, the screw. Let's see the settings. The screw to adjust the angle and another screw to raise and lower the hammer. Let's start with the hammer, or the gong mallet. It has a double-sided hammer with felt on one side and plastic on the other. But now we can tell it's not the same design. Here it even says the make Pearl here on top. It's not the same design. Why? Because this hammer weighs much more and it has a much better sound than the 2 previous ones. Yes, you can play any music with it. If you can play quickly, you can play quickly with this pedal hammer. But the hammer has a strike action that is decent. Now we're talking about a different type of sound. This pedal sounds different. Then, I like, for example, I like the heel-toe technique. With the heel-toe technique, this pedal works well because the hammer has... What else has this pedal got? A chain? Okay. And perhaps nothing else. This pedal is safer, more reliable for a concert, as the materials used to make the housing is made from a different metal. I don't know what metal it is, don't ask me. But it's nothing like the others, I can assure you. You notice that it is much heavier, okay? And here, if you tighten a screw, you're not going to thread the screw so quickly. It's more complicated than that, really. This pedal is supposed to be a quality product. This pedal you can use for concerts, for rehearsals, for shows, for any occasion. It weighs a bit more, but the main point about this pedal is that it has a different type of gong mallet and it has a more powerful strike action and sound. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, another type of pedal, a Yamaha, a little darling Yamaha. What has it got? Again, here below we have 2 bars to set it up or dismantle it quickly. This pedal at first glance has nothing special, but its price is rather high. I looked it up before making this video and it's between 60 and 80 euros. Okay, and for 80 euros, you can buy a pedal by Tama Iron Cobra that comes with a lot of extras, which is much more interesting than this one. But then let's see, because Yamaha always have high prices, what are they offering us? Well, first of all, let's see the details. Springs. These springs have nothing to do with the previous ones. They're much better. The adjustment settings, the screw to choose, the angle, the gong, and another screw to raise and lower. A simple hammer because it is the most basic pedal that Yamaha make. It weighs very little. Felt and plastic don't weigh much. Now, interesting things that it has. Observe, it doesn't have a chain, it's a belt. A belt, and later we'll see why. Next, the design. Notice inside how it's made. This is hollow here to reduce the weight, and so the pedal moves faster. The makers have designed this glide to play very fast. With this pedal, you can play really fast, okay? Another thing. Okay, the hardware used by Yamaha, as you can imagine, is very good quality, okay? Up here, you can tighten it 20 times. The screws, take it off, put it on, and I assure you, it's hard to break Yamaha hardware. It can last a long time. I always say, traveling with groups, setting up the drum kit every day, one of the best hardwares I can recommend is made by Yamaha, because it is very strong and resilient, and you can set up and put it away the instruments for days and months and years, and then they will still last. The next detail notice, we have a bar here below, which according to the manufacturer maintains the structure perfectly in place and protects the pedal from moving from the perfect vertical course. You will always have a 90-degree angle here. There's no twisting to the left or right, which could affect the movement of the gong mallet. Okay? Okay, they have reinforced this bar, and for the money, no other manufacturer makes such a good job. Another thing, okay, you can see the platform here is quite decent, it's strong. The materials are very resistant, of good quality, and here there is a hole if you want to put a stop limiter or a stopper. But like I said, I don't use them. What else? You can always add one. What else does it have? The clamp for the drum, and the clamp is normal, okay, it's simple. Here there is a butterfly screw, nothing too special. But what has the pedal got more than that is its weight. It weighs very little, okay? Although the materials used are very strong, it's very interesting because it weighs very little, and sometimes I like this kind of pedal for some jobs when I have to carry a lot of equipment and I don't have a trolley with wheels. What with all the stands and everything for my drum kit, or sometimes I only have to take my box. If there is a drum kit already set up, this pedal is really great for me. Because it weighs very little and it folds up, look, it doesn't take up very much space and it's light. It weighs hardly anything and it comes apart easily. What's more, it's a very sure and reliable pedal. You can do any live gigs and you don't have to worry about it falling apart on you. This type of pedal gives no problems at all. The weight. They took away the chain to reduce weight because the chain weighs, well, it weighs a little, but not a lot. but a little. And they've put on this belt to make the movement really silent, okay? Because it actually makes a little noise, the chain, although you don't notice it much. But in this case, this belt here, with it, there's no sound. The cost of this pedal is between 60 and 80 euros. It's not cheap. But now we're talking about a pedal that is safer and of good quality. And now we have reached the semi-professional range. All the models that I have shown you before were basic. The first ones were even basic and bad. Semi-professional models, what is the difference? In this case, I'm going to show you a double pedal for a double bass drum. But let's consider it as it were an example of a single hammer pedal. We'll have a look at it in a moment. If you buy the same model with one gong mallet, you'll find it comes with nearly all the same components as this pedal. Let's start. The first difference is that if you buy a semi-professional pedal, it comes with a base plate. A nice piece of metal here on the bottom. This metal plate that makes the base plate, what does it give us? Stability. And whilst we are playing, the pedal doesn't move. This pedal is heavy, and it's heavy. Next, take a look at this. It comes with a chain, and of course below this chain is like a rubber seal to keep the movement silent and smooth. But as the pedal is 15 years old and the rubber's worn out, I have put some leather on it and it works really well. The following, what semi-professional pedals have is that they are always of good quality. The hammer has a metal center and the felt here is very hard. It's much harder than the other pedals from before. The metal center, and here we have a screw that allows you to angle the surface of the hammer a bit up or a bit down so that the impact is perfect on the drum head, on the skin of the drum. It's very interesting. There is also a setting adjustment here. If we loosen it, the pedal inclines or leans further back and also further forward, depending what you want. There's another screw here. This screw allows us to raise and lower the position of the hammer. And now the details that normally basic pedals don't have. You can take off the chain and replace it. Let me show you. It has a screw here, and if you loosen it, here on the other side, let's see if you can get to it here underneath, here under the pedal, there's another screw. Okay. That's how we take it off, if it's worn or broken. Okay. Imagine one day that you break the chain, you can take this one off and replace it. It's that simple. But I must admit, I've never known anybody to break a single chain in all my life. Of course, there are double chains, but this one's a single one. I've never broken a chain. I don't know what type of strength you need to be able to break a chain. Anyhow, you can change the chain if you want. Let's go on. Another interesting point about this Yamaha is that it has a bar that's reinforcing the structure of the housing of this pedal. So it will never twist or deform by dropping it or banging it with something. That's impossible. Okay, and the springs that they use on the semi-professional models are of a different material. They are worlds ahead of the cheap basic springs. They are more flexible, more resistant, more interesting. The bearings that they use here on the pedals are high quality, fast, and provide a lot of movement. They are much faster. Then in conclusion, the hammer strikes with an exceptionally good quality sound resonance. It's deep, and you can't compare it with the cheap versions. They don't have this type of hammer with a metal center. These hammers are different, okay? What more can I say? The price. This pedal is 15 years old or more, and if we're speaking about a single hammer version, it could cost you 150 euros, up to about 200 euros, depending on the exact model, okay? But it's worth it? Yes, it's worth it, because this pedal is very safe, strong, and you can play for hours and hours and enjoy playing it vigorously, hard even, giving it thump. And the pedal feels good, with all the benefits of its better quality components. Another good point here, now we don't have to tighten up the clamp like with a butterfly screw like before, but you have to release the nut here to lower the clamp to the required position and then tighten it up again. It is made of in a different way. I don't like having to use a spanner, but that's the way it is. Oh, and see here, this was made in Japan. I've used this pedal for many years, and I've truly always liked it a lot. Disadvantages. The only disadvantage this pedal could have is the weight of it. You couldn't put this in your backpack or your bag. Forget it. It will rip your backpack. It weighs a lot, and to carry it from here to there and up and down every day would be impossible. I prefer the little Yamaha version that I showed you before, okay? Now I'd like to finish with the last pedal that I bought. Again, it is a double bass pedal, but we're going to look at it as if it were a single hammer pedal. This is from a professional range of pedals. What's the difference between professional and semi-professional? Let me see. This pedal has a double chain to start. Okay, although I've already said I've never seen anyone who can break a chain, with a double chain it would be even more difficult. Okay, a double chain. And it's super reinforced, of course. Again, here there is a screw to remove the chain and replace it. You can loosen it here and take it off and put on another one. The next point, the housing. This one, like the semi-professional range, they only use high-quality materials, and they are strong and resilient. Next detail. The bearing is here, for example. The bearing is improved, much smoother and faster than the previous one. This one is much faster. It's called the Speed Cobra, for playing fast pieces of music. Okay, let's look at the settings. These professional pedals have far more adjustments. They have more adjustments, they've got more to offer, and of course they're more expensive. Why? Because if I'm going to lower this, look at this, the platform comes up, okay? So although I can leave the hammer fixed here, the platform is another angle. This screw allows me to leave the hammer at the same level, whilst the hammer can be here or here. It's completely independent. You can adjust it like that. The following point. We can angle and adjust the angle of the hammer with the screw here, change the angle so, totalmente independiente puedes ajustar, es muy interesante. Siguiente detalle. These hammers have a metal center, And here they have a rubber or cork or something that's very hard. It's very resilient, and the beat that it gives you is very good. It has a really nice, interesting sound. Let's get on. Down here we have a bass. It weighs a ton. Next to the professional and semi-professional pedals. Now we come to a mechanism here that cannot be loosened. With vibrations, it doesn't come undone that way. Never, okay? Here there is a counterweight down here, so that the hammer moves more quickly. What else does this pedal have? Here you can see the butterfly screw to tighten and hold the bit that goes in here. It's pretty cool because with the cheap pedals, it comes with the butterfly screw underneath the platform, which makes it a bit difficult to get your hand in here to tighten it up. Here we don't need to do that because it's over to the side here. It's much easier to use. And the cost of these pedals, we're talking about 200 to 250 euros for a single pedal with just one hammer. Is it worthwhile buying one? Well, these pedals usually have something special. Due to the price of 200 euros about them, that others don't have, like some specific models. In my next video, I'm going to show this pedal, giving it a complete review because it is very interesting to compare with the Yamaha that I showed you before, to say the benefits and the disadvantages of each. Okay, well, I'm away. I have to go. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a like if you've enjoyed the vlog. Bye!